So Nya, I know we've been talking about this moment for a very long time.
Yes, yeah.
Starting a podcast about who you are, what you stand for, and the vision you have, not just for Vast Carbon, but Africa in general. So probably I'd give you, say, 1 minute to explain to our audience what this podcast is all about.
Would 1 minute suffice?
Yes, 1 minute, but I know you, Nya.
Okay, so I'm Nyangena Brian. I actually prefer going by Nyangena, I think, as you know.
Yeah.
I'm a builder. And I think one thing that will summarize me really well is that I like playing in the field of building things that the future would one day call obvious.
Yeah.
I like pushing myself. I like trying to find the upper limits of what I can potentially do. And I like doing so while working with people around me. So the reason for me starting this journey, I believe that collectively within the continent, and most young people, I think, globally, need the chance to find a way of creating, in their own small way, an impact in the community.
Yeah.
And that's my journey. What I try to do is wake up every single day ensuring that I am better today than I was yesterday, ensuring that I am only tackling problems that most people would call hard, and doing so with people who I enjoy working with, people who share a common vision, and people who are also willing to push themselves further. Because then if you grow up, onyambi kizungu ni shida yenu kasi sasa, but I'll be mixing English and Kiswahili. For the English audience, I'm saying I'm very nice. Hata nikigrow up, when I was trying to push things with people, mimi nilikuwa ule mwanafunzi mwenye I am trying to push things, nilikuwa sisikizi vitu vizuri, I don't quite fit in, and I was made to feel like my awkwardness was a bug. And as I grew up, I realized, no, that's actually my strength. So I try to put myself in positions where that innate ability in me actually gets to show out. And I have done that through high school, primary, when I went into work, when I realized I can't fit in really well in structured environments. I tried entrepreneurship, I failed, I tried again. This time I'm doing much better. I still think I have not yet pushed the limits of what I have been or what I can become. And for this podcast, I actually just want to walk people through this journey. I want them to understand who I am, what I think, the future I have seen for Africa. If you know me, you know I am not a person who likes being in the public light.
Yeah.
But I feel like in this new age, this is the only way that I can actually build a community around me to show them this future that I think we can get into. And I think when AI came into the ecosystem, it actually shifted how I was seeing things. And I believe as we try build towards this new future, because I believe it's a new paradigm shift, the way the internet changed things, I want to do so in a manner where I feel my voice can actually contribute. I feel like I can actually make up a dent. And this podcast for me is one to show people how to do that in this journey. I don't have all the answers. I want to fail publicly. I want to build publicly. I want to be more vulnerable. I want to build a community of other entrepreneurs who will see from my journey and learn from it. So that's what I'm trying to do in essence. And hizo zingine tutajua tu mbele. Kama mtoto akitembea, you take one step and then you figure it out from that next step. Incorporate. Our first company was called Base. It was not by accident. I truly believe Thomas Bayes was a very instrumental person in this ecosystem. And he improved something called conditional probability, Bayes theorem, etc. And it's all about taking a step and then reassessing with all the information you have, what's the next step. And that's how I'm looking to take this journey, a step at a time, incorporating all the knowledge I learned and walking people through that.
As you're speaking, I think one of the things that keeps coming out is the issue of community. Why is it? And even here, I think at the Kaya, that's one of the things that you really stress a lot. And even bringing, say, 3 organizations to come work under one roof. Why is it important for you to work in a community or to bring people along with you this journey?
One, I'm a firm believer in success is best enjoyed when you're not alone. And I think the system we currently operate in has taught us to be cogs in a wheel. You go to school, you finish, you graduate, go study, you get a good job in a cozy office. If you do a very good job, you will sit in the corner office and you'll be a person who the community respects. I don't believe in that. I believe that work should be work. Don't get me wrong about that. But you should do that with people who you enjoy dealing that with. And then especially for us being on this side of the continent, I feel like we've not been given a chance to be in a situation where you can show. Kenya has been called the Silicon Savannah.
Yeah.
I need to show a lot more young entrepreneurs how to do this. And I believe the future that we are going to have, especially with AI coming into the mix, is going to paradigm shift a lot of things. I used to be a lecturer in Strathmore in my older days when I was doing my master's and PhD. And I really liked doing that because I was getting a chance to work with young people and shape their thinking. I'll give a very good example. When COVID came, I used to teach computation in math, like how you do tech with math. And when COVID came, I felt like it was an opportunity because how people used to do those codes, you are writing for something. How can you do coding when writing? So when I went to the university, I said no. Give people a chance to build, because even I, as a lecturer, I never had all the answers. How I will do it is I will go to something called Stack Overflow, read a couple of things as I'm answering their own questions that I'm setting for my students. So I thought, change how people are doing it. Work with students, show them what things can be. We are always at our best when we feel comfortable to be who we are. And for me, building that with community is very important because, one, I will tell you, one of the things we learn is who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not a very structured person. I have a lot of ideas. My mind works like a scatterbrain.
Yeah.
And if I was to work things by myself, and when I took my first entrepreneurship journey as an individual, I failed. It's because I didn't surround myself with people who can cover my weakness. And I don't think your role should be, kuna mtu anakuanga ukiwa na weakness, work on improving your weakness. Mi na believe hapana. Work on strengthening your strengths. Hiyo shida ingine, surround yourself with people whose strength is your weakness. And then collectively you have one solid unit, because time is a limited resource. The time I'm spending trying to improve on something that I'm weak at is time I could have spent to improve
On your strength.
on my strength. And I'm not saying don't always improve on your weakness, no. But for me, as a principle, I think community offers that, and it offers you support. And unajua sewa dorime, when you're going to a club, mnaitanga bosi. Bosi akikuja, when he's going to the loo, almost everyone is following them, anaogopa jamaa atalipa bill.
Anaweza achwa.
This petangi hiyo kitu. Nataka ikifika mahali, hata wewe ukianguka, you have a community of people who can be able to build it with you. And if you look at majority of the founders who've built something in the continent, wamekuwa wakibuild peke yao, and we've had a lot of cases of people failing. The story of entrepreneurship is usually told from success. Umefanya hivi. There's a lot that happens on the background. Na ukiuliza kila mtu, every successful person hajafanya peke yake. There's a team of people around them. And that's the narrative I want to create and show people, that this is how we can build as Africa. And especially in this age of AI, I believe that the data infrastructure that is currently being implemented in the ecosystem is not to our advantage. I can be honest with you, Lily, that's not to our advantage. And I'm sitting here having a lot of anxiety at night, looking at things and saying, what can I do? So this is an attempt to figure out how to do that. And I believe that for success to work, I will have to work with a community of people around me. Because this future that we are just about to head into, community is going to be a currency that is going to be very, very important.
For sure. And I think this is one of those points to make a call to action. Like if you're listening to this conversation, if you connect to what you're speaking about, you can reach out to us. I think you can give out your email address, or I don't know. We can find a way.
We'll find another way. They can find me.
Like on LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn. Nyangena Brian.
Nyangena Brian. Like if you connect with what you're talking about, because I think that is one of the things that most of us are struggling with. We see all these things that are happening around us. We know they're going to affect us, but we have, is it called paralysis?
Yeah, analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis. We don't know which direction to move. And I think with these conversations, we'll definitely find a way, someone coming on board saying, hey, I think I've figured this out. And I know here at the CAI we give people opportunities just to come and experiment and what have you. But now coming back to one of the things that you've mentioned, and I know you're a big Pan-Africanist. Sometimes you sit with you in meetings and you speak as if you're several light years ahead of some of us. You know, the way they say what an older man sees while they're sitting. Even if you were to climb a ladder, some of us would not see that. Where do you get your inspiration from? What drives you? Is it fear? Is it wanting to make an impact? What would you say is that one thing that keeps you awake?
It's many things. The fear of being irrelevant, the fear of not utilizing my potential to the best of my ability, the fear that, I know coming from fear is not a good space, but
Yeah.
to be quite honest, those are some of the things internally. I want to always be at my best. And I'm a very naturally curious person. Mi ni ule msee mwenye naenjoyingi kujisukuma nikiwa mtoi. I used to like pushing that. And then I have this one thing of, I don't like being told what I can't do. And that, thanks to my mom.
Yeah.
My mom told me a lot of things that I couldn't do, and I spent my life trying to show her that I can
That
do
you can
it.
do it.
Yes. So for me, one of the things that drive me is I look at the world as a village. So when I'm sitting here, I don't, when someone tells you, that is not for you. Like you see when adults are sitting somewhere in the table and then they're having a discussion and you're being told, this is not your table, go.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
So for me, I like looking at the world as a global village. And I'm saying if all this information has become available to all of us right now, with what I know, what more can I do? So I spend a lot of time listening to other people who've pushed themselves. They've become pioneers. They're driving big impact on the community. They're being authentic about that journey, because that's another thing. I think if you know me, you realize I don't like wearing suits.
Yeah.
I don't like fitting into the normal mold, because I feel like we've grown up being told who we can be, what we can be. We've been put into boxes, and I refuse to do it. So in the pursuit of trying to push myself to become better and incorporate the information, the base thing I told you, I read a lot about what other people are doing. I spend probably half of my working day when I'm awake just improving the knowledge I have. I read a lot of things of late. AI and spiritual awakening has been things that I am reading a lot more on, because I used to be Christian the way back, and then I lost my way, and I'm trying to
That's
find
a
my way.
conversation for another day.
Conversation, but my essence in doing that is I read a lot, and I like being like a scientist. So put a lot of hypotheses and then getting excited about trying them. And I don't think I have a fear of failure. I failed so many times in my life that I have realized that it's not how you fail, it's how quickly you rise. So failure shouldn't be the thing. Like you should even look forward to failing as quickly as possible so that you learn how to rise in a different way.
Yeah.
And through that process is how I learn a lot of things. Why I see things in the future, I don't know. I just know my mind works like a tree diagram. I see one thing, I go further, and I go further, and I explore further. And that curiosity is what gets me to where I am, I think.
So in that spirit of building a community, there's a way you have a knack of picking people to, like the right people. And you said it, you have this strength, you have this weakness, looking for someone who is going to come and complement you. How do you do that? Because I know that's one of the things that many people maybe fail on. How are you able to pick out the people to walk this journey with you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been trying to ask myself that question. It seems that I've been doing quite a good job at that.
Yeah.
But if I was to point at one thing, I would say I think it's authenticity.
Yeah.
When you meet a person, I feel like we wear a lot of masks every single day. It's like the moment you enter into your workplace, you're expected to play a certain role, become someone. Even when you go home with your parents, sometimes, I don't know if you go through that, you almost feel like you have to be someone.
Or act a certain way.
Yeah. And for me, I think what makes it easy is that every interaction I have with people is I lead with authenticity.
Yeah.
I show you who I am, what I am thinking. I'm not scared to be vulnerable with people. I like building connections. Anytime I meet people, I'd rather know you as an individual first before you tell me of your accolades.
Yeah.
I just need to know who you are as a person, how you think, how you handle adversity. When we do interviews, when I come in, like for instance, when we recruit people, and I think we've done it with you, I don't like asking questions of tell me about your background, tell me over time. Tell me about your story. What makes you wake up every single day? Why do you do what you do? What are you hoping to see?
Yeah.
And if you're unable to answer those questions, it shows me you've not taken an inward journey.
Yeah, yeah.
And I prefer not to work with those people.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer to work with people who are free to be authentic, free to be themselves, free to say when they don't know what they don't know, free to say this is who I am, not be scared. And I think that as a recipe has ended up getting me to where I'm getting people who resonate. The challenge with that sometimes, and I have seen it, I end up picking people. If I'm not careful, you end up picking people who are like you. So at certain times when I go into a meeting, there are people who might not appreciate the concept of authenticity the way I do.
Yeah.
And on those edge cases, sometimes I like observing how people work.
Yeah.
Not the things you put in your CVs, etc. I'll go talk to other people about what was the experience working with you. How do you usually work? How do you structure yourself? And sometimes you know it. If you ukitafutanga mtu kwa ndoa, so unatafutanga compatibility, and for me compatibility usually as well as part of a community is what are areas that I know I am usually weak in, or areas that my community is weak in that I try explore. I have had cases where I know someone like Lily is very structured. So when I'm looking for a person who's structured to come onto my team, I know I don't have the radar to pick out the things I need to pick out to find a structured person. So I will call Lily to come with me to assess a person who's similar to them, because they're best placed to figure out how to find that. And I also just like leaving you to be yourself. I feel like when people are given autonomy, they rise up to the occasion. And that has always worked for me majority of the time.
Moving away from people, I know one of the things you're really big in is AI.
Yes.
Where do you think Africa stands? Are we in the arena, or are we on the sidelines waiting for things to happen?
We are both. We're in the sidelines and we're in the arena. But the way we are participating in the arena, I think we're not doing it the right way. I think Kenya is one of in Africa, the biggest use of ChatGPT. If not globally, but I think I know for sure for Africa, we lead that in terms of how we are adopting AI. We are part of the arena because if you look at what media tells us, is that 4% of the data that has been trained on current models is what comes from Africa. We call Africa a very small market for it to put a dent. Who's willing to buy data here? But then I look, the Chinese are coming here. The guys from the West are coming here. And you see the other day, a couple of deals on minerals being signed here from Africa. You're seeing people say, wanting Kenya is, for instance, looking to set up a data center. What I feel has traditionally been our biggest weakness is now positioning to be our biggest opportunity. Majority of our data has not yet been digitized. And that data holds an immense value, especially for a continent on this side that has a lot of value to give. And if you look at most people are coming into the continent to try and find opportunities, because why? We are land of opportunities. We don't have yet everything figured out. In this new age of AI, yes, for models that have been trained, data that is available online, of course, 96% of it comes from
The West
outside the continent.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of data that has not yet been done. And I feel like as we are participating in the arena, I'll give you a very good example. When you're using ChatGPT, you're getting very excited on the efficiencies that it's giving us. I am also using ChatGPT and Claude and many of these other AI tools. But then I take a step back and look at the people who are organizing these frameworks for us. I feel like I am being extracted out of value. I feel like data is going to be the next big infrastructure. We are willingly giving it for free. I'll give you an example of what one of our colleagues who has since left aside his own organization is doing. A gentleman called Mike Twitter. Mike, shout out to you, man. Nakupatia free highway. He's designing a tool where he's helping people scan their receipts because of this new law KRA has passed. If you look at it from the framework, outside looking in, people will get very excited. Why? You've been given a tool that can help you scan receipts and help you plan so that when KRA is coming, you're ready and you can be able to file very well. But then now, I'm hoping Mike has thought about this, but I can't, if I start charging people within the continent, I'm already paying $20 in ChatGPT, that's very expensive. So I'm hoping Mike is giving it for free. But this is where the value of data becomes important. If you're scanning receipts of people, Those receipts can show you the goods they're buying, where, and if you collect information about their age demographics, where they're getting it from. That's a data mine. One business model could be, I'll give a very example of like maize flour. You take receipts, you can be able to see people are buying Taifa unga.
Yes.
I can easily go to Soko. I hope they're from different companies, but this is just an example. I can go to Soko and tell them, you spend X amount on marketing. And this marketing doesn't even translate into output for you. If I can run a very targeted campaign for you, for my apps, and if you're using my app for free, I can put advertisements for that. If I run that, I can be able to profile people who are more likely to transition from Taifa to Soko. Maybe I can say Unilever, you're selling similar products, and I can see this person buys Nivea lotion. They buy this, but they don't know you. Soko is also yours. So I can position marketing in such a way that they feel like they're buying from one ecosystem, a similar stack. And that insight, instead of paying me a marketing fee, you'll only pay me on outcome based. The moment I'm able to convert one user from Taifa to Soko, I'm so sorry for this if I'm mixing brands, but please try go with the thing of thought. If I can be able to pay that, I can come to Soko and tell them, for every person I translate, you pay me 100. Then I can go, because I have a very good profile of the clients and what they're using, what they're spending it with, where they're going. I can do the same way TikTok has created a very good algorithm to know the kind of things that will attract you. These things are usually available. Content creation machines have the algorithms that can help you know that. Are you seeing how that data has become valuable? For Mike, who's creating that thing, if he's taking an image, people would, for the consumer, the average consumer, they'll be very happy that, someone has created an app to help us with KRA. You're not seeing downstream how your value is being extracted out of it. And of course, when you're signing terms and conditions, you say, I'm giving out my data, it can be used. And that's what most of these other companies in the world are doing with your data. You take data, curate insights out of it, and draw value downstream that you've been removed away from. I feel like that's what's happening right now with our AI tools. And granted, they're doing a very good job. The way KRA is we're being helped with KRA. I'm becoming efficient. I'm a big user of that.
You keep coming back for more.
I keep coming back. And the more I'm tracking with that thing, the more data I am giving. And the more that data is being given. If you ask yourself, ChatGPT, for instance, has like 1 billion users. They charge $20 a user, and not everyone pays. The majority of the time it's mostly free.
There isn't free version.
Free tier. They are spending $500 billion, I think, dollars setting up data centers, etc. Where do you think that money is coming from? Because their business model here, what they're charging for ChatGPT is not going to cut it. It will take them over 20 years to pay back their capital. Where do you think they're getting the value? From our data. So the continuous use of it is helping them derive value downstream. And you've had these concepts of each being able to take jobs. As a CEO, I am seeing that myself as well in my own organization. And that value needs to be, we have to find a way of redistributing that value. And I know they say, yes, as Africans, we are a very small market. But I think to the contrary, we're not a small market. And I like thinking in long-term versions. My mind usually doesn't think 6 months, 1 year down the line. I usually look at 5 years, 10 years down the line. What is it that we need to be doing now to ensure that the reality in the future becomes true? I know the EU is passing legislation by the end of this year to allow people to be able to say, when you're using data, where has the data come from, attribution. But you see, that's not being communicated. So if EU is looking at that, what are we going to be doing as Africa? And there's a business case. Because I believe that we've, for the longest time, been looked at as African, as people who receive aid, get grants. People are coming here and saying, we're going to help you with your health data. We're going to do X, Y, Z. And it looks like it's very charitable. It's not like that.
There's a saying that if there's no product, you're the...
Thank you.
You're the product.
Yes, you are the product. If you cannot see where you're paying for product, how much the product is,
you're the product. But is there a solution to this in Africa? What do you see as the solution? Can we have, say, an Africa ChatGPT or something of the sort, where data remains here and people actually maybe get value for that?
That's a very layered question. There are many facets to it, and I'm hoping that in the course of this podcast, as we continue working through it, I'm going to unearth those layers one at a time, because it's a very nuanced question. there are things that are within our control. There are things that are outside our control.
Yeah.
And it will take a very long time for us to be able to do. For instance, if you're telling Africa to set up a hyperscaling data center, it doesn't make sense for us. We are, I think 60% of the continent is unelectrified. We're already facing that as a problem. So you're saying to set up a hyperscaling data center here, drawing a lot of energy, it doesn't make sense. But that data center infrastructure is important.
Yeah.
It might not work now,
Yeah.
but it might work 5-10 years from
Down
now.
the line,
We need to put that at the back of our mind, that the energy infrastructure and the data center infrastructure needs to be built.
Yeah.
But the reality is we cannot do that now.
Yeah.
So how I try and look at it in terms of what we can do as Africa is, I honestly believe that there's this saying here in Africa is hakuna mkate ngumu mbele ya chai. Yes. Na mimi na believe hapa sijui. Honestly, if I'm honest with you, I don't have. If you ask me, give me a path, I am not sure.
Yeah.
But that's why I want to build a community. That's why I want to take this journey.
Yeah.
I want to be able to be one of the people who educate most of the people in the continent on what is possible. I want to take that step. And secondly, I have observed majority of the things that are being done. I have looked at WEF. I have looked at
that's the World Economic
Forum. I've looked at Sam Altman. I've looked at Elon Musk. I've looked at Dangote, Strive Masiwa. These people were just like, they're human beings. They are just like me. They had a vision. They were committed enough. It was not easy. They went through challenges. They believed in their vision, and they eventually found a way. Chai yao ilisoftenisha mkate. Sasa mimi, that's what I want to do. I want to figure out a way in which we can, from where charity begins at home, from where and what I can see, that data problem is a very big problem for me. And I actually believe there's a framework that can be done with that. Secondly, these tools that have been given to us, I want to leverage them for our advantage. So yes, I can use ChatGPT for now because they're being rewarded. Because remember, OpenAI, Anthropic, etc. They've not just woken up one day and found themselves here. This has been years in making. If you look at Sam Altman, he was even part of YC. He looked at how you shape and building businesses. Strive Masiwa, a billionaire in his own right. He did not start just now. If everything is to go, if you're to go by with everything that we've seen right now, these tools that are becoming available to us, they're going to be the thing that help us do the exponential curve. As they're doing that, I believe there's a share for us as Africans as well. And for me, the starting point of that is on the data infrastructure. How can I create a layer between what these guys have done? And they've done a very good job, and they've leapt us as a humanity forward. But as they're doing so, a lot of those impacts, we are going to be the ones who are going to be affected a lot faster. So in this new age of what jobs are going to be, in this new age of where people keep saying data is a new oil, it's in this new age where we're saying as Africans, we need to find a way of leveraging AI. AI is going to take away jobs, it's going to do all that. What are we going to do? And that's what I want to do. So if you ask me a straight answer, is there something we can do? I believe there is. Do I know what that is? I don't know. And part of the reason why I have decided to come out publicly myself and put myself out there, and I find it very uncomfortable, is because this dialogue needs to be had. I need to rally a community of people who share this same vision. We need to work together to figure out what can we do. And just as a kid walks, unaangalianga mtoto wako, unaonanga kama mtoto wa nani alizaa na kaanza hapa, si amekuwa mkubwa na ameenda shule na amefanya hivi, hata wangu pia mimi nitafanya. Ukianzanga as a new mother, even me when I was a new father, it's not like I've not seen nephews and nieces growing up from my other mama cousins. I have seen them. But when it came to me, I had to take it a step at a time. I had to work with my kids. I had to make my own mistakes. Even my own kids, when they got to a point where they walked, they had to start by falling, trying, etc. And there are kids who walk in 6 months, there are kids who walk in 3 months, there are kids who walk in 1 year, there are kids who come in different shapes and forms. But it's all through trying. You never sit somewhere and say, hey, nataka mtoto wangu akue kama fulani, ama unaangalia. You have to get into the arena. And this is me getting into the arena. I actually believe I can be these Sam Altmans of the world for Africa. And there's this thing called the PayPal Mafia. We've heard of it. If you look at J.D. Vance, the vice president, Peter Thiel, Reid Hoffman, etc., they've done it. I want to build a vast mafia. I want eventually, when you look at it 10 years from now, 20 years from now, even 5, if AI delivers on the promises given, there will be billionaires, But the billionaires is just not cause of the money. It's also on the impact.
Yeah.
We need to even change the way in which we build businesses in Africa, so that if you're a billionaire, you're just not looking to be a billionaire for your own self, where you're
That's true.
extracting value for you. It's how do you extract value? And I'm using extracting very deliberately.
Yeah.
How do you extract that value and allow others to participate on it? How do you make it equitable? Even when I was starting Vast Carbon, one of the things that we were very particular about in carbon markets was equitable distribution of carbon revenues to the community. That was one of the things that actually got us started. Because a lot of these guys are the ones who are doing majority of the actions on majority of the things that are supporting climate positive action. But they were the least represented. And when I saw that, that was the thing that got me to start Vast Carbon.
Yeah.
Did I know how I was going to do it? No. If you found me, and for those of you who've seen our journey, you saw me talk about blockchain, I don't know, whatever it is, but over time, the more I was in the arena, the more I realized the nuances of the market, and the more I realized what my niche was going to be.
Yeah.
That's the same thing here. I believe equitable distribution should be one. We should be able to build a very big ecosystem. And this is my first step as a baby.
Yeah.
I'm walking. I might fall a couple of times and you'll see me fall.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you will see me walk as well.
For sure. And run.
Yes,
and even
run
for the
as well.
marathons.
Yes.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you've had a stint as a lecturer, and I have an education background. Currently doing my CIM in marketing, and of course this inspiration. If I hadn't come at Vast, I wouldn't have done this. It's just when you get into this space, you just want to be better. Yeah. So anyway, one of the things that I know are really ailing our education system is that we're still stuck in the old ways of doing things. And this era of AI, and even this morning, I think that's something we were talking about. We're still teaching kids in universities outdated methods of doing things. What would be your advice to someone who has no control? He or she is a young student in this system, has no control of what is being taught, but what can they do on the side so that they are, if not on top of the curve, ahead of the curve?
Be informed. Be informed is the first thing. And being informed, I know, is a very nuanced thing, because how our youth currently get involved in the information is that they go to TikTok, Instagram, X, Mpasho, Nairobi News, and the likes.
Yeah, there's something else called NGC.
Yeah.
And there's a guy, Edgar Barry. I don't know whether you know
I
BNN.
know Edgar. I know Edgar as well. So it's also informing yourself on quality things.
Yeah.
These tools that you use to consume information are run on algorithms. And these algorithms, you can manipulate them based on how your usage is. So I believe it's staying informed, but the staying informed journey requires a theory of change.
Yeah.
So it takes a long time, and I believe charity begins at home. Even if you look at how bacteria multiply, when you're culturing bacterial solutions.
Yeah.
Unaanzanga kidogo, you start somewhere, and then they multiply.
Yeah.
You always get to a point where you reach critical mass.
Yeah.
And at that point is when you get the exponential curve. I believe that we're in this part yet.
Yeah.
And in this part is where you need to put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
So that, for me, for instance, I used to be a lecturer. Part of the reason why I felt this was going to be important for me, and I am actually considering going back right now, is I felt like in my own way, I can relate a lot more with students. Education comes easy to me. I like working with young people. And I knew the moment I impact at least one or two people, those one or two people will share my essence, and they will attract one or more two people. And those one or more two people will attract one or more two people. You can talk to 10, 100 people. You just need to convert one, two, or three.
Yeah, and it will snowball.
If I start by myself, and if you run simple maths, 1 leads to 3, 3 leads to 9, 9 leads to 27, 27 leads to that, gets to a point where there's this thing that, how long does it take to fill, there's this riddle, I might butcher it.
Yeah.
How long it takes to fill a pond if you do something. And please, for those of you who will sign this online, mtafute hiyo kitu. And it showed a very interesting concept of exponential growth. That initially it may take a few times, but when you just past a certain critical mile, half of it goes faster. So if you answer 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, inafika mahali, the jump is quite exponential around that. So for me, in my own small way, that's what I'm looking to do. Even with students, I feel a sense of responsibility that a junior developer somewhere in second year is learning a follow, and anaandika kwa karatasi, is writing it. getting ticks and being told, good job, hey.
Yeah.
And he's coming to work for someone like me who's automated that entire thing away. So I'm wondering, naenda naenda kutoa watu block nyumbani mase.
Hiyo ndio tegemeo.
Amefanya kila kitu, amesema huyu ndo anatutoa hapa. Angalia sasa. Anakuja wapi kwa this new world? So for me, we have to have a lot more people who educate. It's about being informed.
Yeah.
And then doing it in a manner that resonates with the audience you're trying to capture. And for me, this audience is mostly the young, because the cost of transforming their thinking is,
it's very easy.
Sio deal na madhe. Anakwambia, hii kitu haifanyi, internet is not working, kuja nisaidie. And if you teach another young person, kids 5, 3 years can get very a phone fast. And they know how to play with it. But when you're talking to your mom, it's going to be different. So for me, it's just an approach issue. There are people who want to teach people like my mom.
Which is fine.
Yeah. But I believe the biggest impact will be, let me talk to these young people so that when they're in Christmas, they will be the ones who will also help me teach the older people. Yeah. So for me, that starts with people in school, the youth, people who are feeling this kind of thing that we're feeling right now, that AI has changed a lot of things. And then hopefully they will find the language necessary to educate the next person and the next person. But so for me, this is my path. Hopefully 1, 2, 3 people really resonate with what I'm saying, and hopefully they become my champions.
And I totally agree. You know, the way you send us, you come across these YouTube videos and you send it to us. Yeah. I also share it in other groups. Like, you people need to, like, there's this video you shared for manners and the things it's able to do. Yes. When you're seated in this environment, you think everyone knows about manners, but once you step out, you realize it's not as popular. So yeah, I agree on that. It just keeps growing and growing. So maybe as we head towards the end of this first episode, you mentioned you have children.
Yes, I do.
And I know that two girls. If I was to ask them to describe Daddy, how would they do it? What would they say?
Daddy likes working.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know how to look at it, a good and a bad thing. So in the course of me pursuing this entrepreneurship journey, I'll be very honest with you. I wasn't as present as I was supposed to be as a father on my kids. Yeah. And they're now 6 years old. They're 2 girls, twins. And in the pursuit of this journey, in as much as I'm saying community needs to be there, I also have come to learn that as I was carrying a lot of weight on my shoulder to try push this vision that I felt people are not seeing at the point at which I was saying it. And I had to put a lot more. And lucky for me, I got myself a community here, the Kaya, that were able to understand and are now lifting that weight off of me and helping me support to push that. So I'm becoming more aware to become present. And you've asked me that question and it has hit me because I'm not going to lie to you. When my kids are asked about that, is that Papa likes working a lot. You're always on your laptop and Papa likes playing games. But also, one of the other things that I think I have seen, they might not say it because they're too young to be able to see it. But I've seen my kids being people who push for the community. We had just done a PTA, I think a week or so back, when I was getting feedback from the teachers working and about how my kids are performing in school EPC. And one of the things that I really felt out, I didn't care much on what they were passing on, whether they were sub or not. It was more of they were telling me how they're the ones who are light up the class. They like sharing a lot. They care about their people. Wakoradi wajinyime wao wapatie wasee. And in as much as I beat myself, I'm my biggest critic personally. But that was a good piece of news for me. Seeing that, in as much as I've not been away, that essence of who I am myself and helping people, my kids have just picked it up almost naturally. And as we move forward now, I'm trying to be a bit more present. And I'm trying to get my kids to see I'm a passionate person. I like working with people. And they would say that they would actually see that as a good thing and they will see how they can contribute to it.
So as we wrap up, who are you reading right now? It could be on LinkedIn, it could be on YouTube. Who are the people that you follow?
I'm currently reading Emad Mustak, The Intelligent Internet. I really resonate with how he thinks around where the world is going to be right now with AI. And as we continue covering some of these podcast episodes, you're going to hear me reference him a lot. Because I really share some of his principles about where or how we should build AI for the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
I am a very big fan of a gentleman called Charles Hoskinson,
Yeah.
the founder of Cardano, the Cardano blockchain. I was lucky enough to meet him some time back. I agree with most of the things he does. Some I don't agree with, but I like his focus on building infrastructures from first principles. He's very scientifically rigor.
Yeah.
I used to be a trader some time back, and hopefully, as we continue
Sharp
doing these
boy,
things,
sharp boy.
I used to be see forex like in sort of forex. I used to actually be a trader like investment banking,
Yeah.
and I liked his principles around that. So I am reading Hoskinson, and he's released a very interesting feature on his blockchain called Midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in a story of privacy, etc. And he's trying to find an intersection of blockchain and AI.
Yeah.
So I'm reading a lot about him. I listen a lot to Dwakesh Patel, his podcasts. I like Lex Friedman. I listen a lot to him, and I'm sorry, I know I don't listen to a lot of African content creators at this moment.
Yeah.
I like Every Other Time with Eric. This podcast is a Kenyan guy who does a lot of podcasts talking to mostly men about their journey, etc. I like listening to that.
Yeah.
Funny enough, even as much as I'm not proud to say it, I listen to Obina, because for me, that shows the other element of my human, like outside my professional side.
So, yeah.
Sometimes I find it very interesting seeing what the community as a whole, because especially sometimes when ukikuwa kwa grind sana,
Yeah.
you almost get locked in. And I like how Obina shows different facets to him. And he talks to almost everyone, he can relate with every single person. And I do that. How in Guinea, I'm sure I've forgotten a lot more people. Oh, G, I've forgotten his name. Someone G.
Yeah.
And I think it's called John Harris or Joe Harris. He was formerly from Vox. He has this interesting way of breaking down concepts into in a manner that can be easily interpretable. And as I'm about to take this journey as well, I want to draw a lot of inspiration on him and Veritasium. They're educators. I really admire them on how you take complex information and present them to the universe. And then the Kaya. I listen to the Kaya as well. The people I work with, I like listening to them. They challenge me. We're in the same arena, so they get to see other sides. They cover my flanks. So talking to them, talking to you, learning about something in certification. Learning about certification, etc. So for me, also the people around me here, my local community, I like learning. Yes.
Yeah, I think I've really enjoyed this. This is just the beginning, and we're going to have so many episodes. What did we say the name of this episode is?
The Sovereign Stack.
The Sovereign Stack.
And the name will become obvious as we continue these subsequent episodes.
Yes.
The frequency of how I'm going to do them, I'm going to try to do them as frequently as possible within a week, 2 or 3 times a week initially. I don't know if I'll maintain that consistency.
I'm here to hold your hand.
We'll see it. I am going to figure out, you're going to walk this journey with me to just see my thinking, see the things I'm working on. I'm going to be building in public. You're going to see what it feels like to build a business in this new age. And I feel like majority of other people who would want to get into entrepreneurship, if you follow this podcast and this is I'm speaking to you, you're going to see how it is like to build this na authenticity yetu ya Kiafrika yani. Tunafanyanga nini? Unaraningi biz aje? Unapatanga struggle gani? Nini nakufanyanga ukwe picking up at night? How do you take all these things that I have mentioned, that I'm consuming? How do you create an African twist to them? I also want to learn as well. As I'm dealing with the community, I also want people to engage with me, to come tell me how these things are going to be. And this is the first step. So look forward to what comes next.
Same here.
Yes.
So with that, bye. See you in the next episode.
Kwaherini.
See ya.